Now to Scenery Park, where youth are planning to light candles tonight in something of a vigil, if you will. It's in the memory of those 21 teenagers that Tumza mentioned about, who lost their lives in eNCA Tavern. Authorities have shut down the shebeen. They're still investigating the cause of the death. On Sunday, to remind you, neighbours were alerted to bodies that were scattered around inside the establishment. The youngest victim was just 13 years old. Senior reporter Aviwe Mtila still following this story for us. Hello, Aviwe. So now we're getting more details from someone who was inside the tavern that night, as I mentioned to Tumza, and she heard from this eyewitness talk of pepper spray and doors being locked. What's the latest you have for us on the ground?
Good morning, Gareth, and that's the similar sentiment that we've been getting on the ground ourselves. I remember just yesterday speaking to the entertainment manager of eNCA Tavern, who himself says was upstairs. You remember it's a double-story tavern. So he says he was in the VIP area upstairs, but he's the one that took the microphone after seeing the crowds inside, who said that the doors must be closed down and even suggested that there must be an entrance fee of 100 Rand just to try get those that can't afford it to go outside and lessen the crowd inside. But it did suggest that there was some sort of pepper spray that was dispersed out, given that these young teenagers were just falling at will. They weren't being pushed or anything of the sort. It's not a stampede, as even the Safety and Security MEC, Aviwe Mtila, has ruled it out, that it wasn't a stampede, because she says that even other children, after the events that happened, passed on later on, obviously not because of the stampede, but because of something either they consumed or something that they inhaled. In fact, it's some of what the parents themselves have been telling us, those that tragically lost their children, part of the 21 teenagers that passed away at eNCA Tavern. After viewing these children's body at the mortuary, they suggest that there are no injuries whatsoever to these children, which suggests that there was no stampede. Even Minister Begekele ruled it out, that the cause is not a stampede, nor is it natural causes of death. Hence, then, he says that there's a deployment of special investigators, forensics, in fact, that are coming to the Eastern Cape to take a closer look and comb through the scene to get a better understanding to what exactly killed these children. I mean, we were speaking to these parents just yesterday, Gareth, and they're demanding answers. They're very confused. They want to know what happened to their children. Remember, these are just teenagers aged between 13 and 17 years at this stage. We do understand it's 9 girls and 12 boys that make up the number. Just take a look at the insert that we put together yesterday and just these tragic events and the devastation that has befallen Scenery Park. Let's take a listen to that.
And as we are standing here right now, we need justice because we don't know what happened.
A devastated mother seeking answers as her teenage daughter is one of the 21 teens who died at eNCA Tavern in Scenery Park.
We need justice because we don't know what happened. We were just called just to attend to the scene, and now we're only here to identify the body. And the body is still here. We're taking the child to Avbov because of the mayor's offer, but we need justice. We need to know what happened to the child.
What are they telling you, Mama? Are you getting any answers?
At the moment, there are no answers. They said autopsy will be sent to the lab to find out what happened. But by the look of the child, she's got no visible injuries.
The Eastern Cape Liquor Board has handed over a compliance notice to the owners of the tavern, closing it off indefinitely.
So it is a criminal offence to sell liquor to underage persons. Once the investigations have been completed and the police furnishes us with a report and indicating that the persons who have unfortunately perished in this unfortunate incident we will then lay criminal charges.
While the owner says she wasn't around at the time of the tragedy, she says she's pained by the deaths.
kwindawo mna endingenza ngayo isonke abantwana babhubhele ngaphakathi imiphefumulo emininzi kangakayana iphume phaa ngaphakathi akumandanga nakum kubuhlungu.
What do you say to the families of the 21 children that have lost their lives?
Ndithi nxesi kubo andihamba mandithina ndithi nxesi kubo.
A prayer service has been held and a funeral parlor has committed to taking care of the burials of the 21 teens at no cost to the families. Aviwe Mtila, Scenery Park, East London.
All right, Aviwe, just before I say goodbye to you, two things I want to unpack quickly. What is the latest on the tavern owners? We've seen reports, we've even seen them you asking questions about them accepting responsibility. A, has that changed? Does the community blame them? And then tell me about what I'm sure is going to be a candlelit vigil later this evening.
Community blames them. The parents that we spoke to, and the majority blame the tavern owners. They blame the liquor board for not ensuring that these taverns comply to even the regulations. No teenagers are supposed to be allowed or be sold alcohol to, nor are they adhering to the specific times, trading times that they're supposed to be trading to. They also blame the Buffalo City municipality in its entirety to ensuring that no police go to these taverns after hours, just to make sure that compliance is adhered to. So we're expecting a candlelight service at about 6 p.m. this evening, where in the majority it's the youth that they say that they've had enough. In fact, they say they've laid numerous complaints alongside some of the neighbors that we also spoke to yesterday, saying that they've detailed the grievances around this particular tavern to the South African Police Service, where they've written affidavits suggesting that they can't sleep at night because of the noise that goes on until 5 a.m. beyond the trading hours. They complain about the teenagers that are allowed in at random at this tavern, but they say that nothing has been done about it, and tragedy now has befallen the community of Scenery Park after complaints have been laid. So we'll be keeping you abreast, Gareth, on the developments throughout the day going into that night vigil.
And for the moment then, Aviwe Mtila, thank you very much. Still on the ground for us. You'll stay there as well till we get more answers. Aviwe Mtila. Now